kind of go through your mindset tonight.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely times when you can kind of in the zone as like a passer, just as like a shooter. You're just seeing things, you're seeing cutters. I gotta credit my teammates as well, because if they're not cutting, if they're not running a transition, and especially if they're not making shots, that doesn't happen. But tonight, all those things were in unison, and so I was pretty locked in. I'm just trying to find. I found Tony, I found Patrick, I found Chris, found Peyton. It was pretty much. I feel like it was a pretty high dose of everyone. So I was just, I was definitely in a different type of zone.
Did you know you had that kind of stat line when you saw it?
I knew I had a lot. I didn't know what it was. I knew I had a lot and no turns, and that was what But did I know I had 13? No, but. The announcer says assist counter every time. So it's I had an idea, but I knew I was giving it to guys and they're making shots. So definitely.
Connor, did you say anything to Patrick when he stole that rebound?
At the time, again, I didn't know. I thought I was closer than 6. I thought I had more than 6 rebounds. I had I guess I had allowed 6 rebounds, but if I had 8 or 9, which is what I kind of thought I was at, then I would have been more pissed after the fact. But I was bro, what are you doing? Get away from me. He had no idea. He just did it. He just took it.
Did you have a favorite assist of the 13?
Probably the one to Chris, or it was either the one to Chris, full the full court over Suing's ear, the quarterback pass, and then the one to Patrick when it bounced out to me. I just one hand whipped it to Patrick in the corner. Those are probably the 2 that I liked the most.
What are you happier about? The 13 assists or the no turnover?
Both. Definitely no turns. That's great. 13 assists. That's probably the most it might be the most I've ever had. Is it? Yeah. So I guess I'll say because it's a career high, the assists. I guess I'll say that.
Connor, I believe I have this right. You rank second in NCAA history in assists to turnovers.
Get first.
How do you feel about that?
It's pretty cool, but nobody's gonna remember if I'm second. You gotta get first. 13-0's gotta help. I gotta think I'll get there. Hopefully. Me and Whites are there's been a couple of times this year where they've given turnovers to me when it was Patrick, because I'm sure they just say McCaffrey or something. And so then I'll look at the box and be I didn't have 3 turnovers, and then I'll text White, and then I'll look at the thing, and against Purdue, they gave me a travel, but Patrick traveled, so I'm trying to get those fixed. So, but that kind of stuff happens. I know I'm up there, but I want to get that number 1 spot.
You know who's number 1?
Who?
Monte Morris.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm. And you can't catch him.
I can't catch him?
No.
Impossible?
Yeah.
What was he at?
A full 1 point ahead of you.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Connor,
he didn't suck, I guess. So.
Connor, I think tonight kind of showcased what you bring to the table. Everybody knows you're not the top of the scoring scouting report, but you did a lot of other things tonight, defensively, rebounding, passing. Just curious, if you were the opposing coach, how would you scout yourself, and how would you try to limit what you could do?
That's a good question. I don't really want to give away the secret, what I would do to myself. That's kind of Collins is gonna watch this. I would, I think I've definitely been guarded differently this year than in the past. People are really trying to get up in my space, pressure me, that kind of thing. There's been different ways. In the past, sag off a little bit more, but then I just kind of pick you apart. And there's up in my space. They've guarded me with big guys. They've guarded me with smaller guys, quicker guys. I feel like I've kind of seen it all. But for the most part, it just kind of goes on a game by game thing, and how I'm feeling, how I'm going to try to attack. I definitely, this was definitely one of my better games. So I'm not going to say it wasn't, but I guess.
There were a lot of guys who were open though. Where did all that come from?
I think they were really loaded up to Chris, and in the post, they were, and then maybe a little bit of staring at the ball, on post-ups and stuff, because I think they were, I don't know if they were sending to, I really will have to watch the film, but I just felt like we were cutting really well, and we were open on those cuts. And then obviously in transition, getting out, those are easy ones. And then against the zone, you know, I'm very confident in the high post against any zone. So I feel like that's one of my kind of best, like I hope teams play them against us. So I was happy when they did that.